Howdy. In this video, I am going to run through every single action card available in Twilight Imperium version 4. I will give a sort of a rating for each action card as well. So let's just dive right in. Let's start with these 6. There's 4 copies of each of these in the deck, and I just realised I'm missing one. Oh, direct hit, where are you? Where are you? Where is it? Where is it? Have I not seen one yet? There we go. Okay, apologies. Okay. There we go, that's all of them, right? Yeah, okay, cool. And I'll give a general strategy with some of the action cards as well, depending if I feel a strategy is required. Or if I have any like sort of advice or pointers or whatever. Alright, let's start with Morale Boost. Yeah, apply +1 for each of your combat rolls. This is decent. This is decent, especially for ground battles, where it purely is a numbers game. Taking bombardment aside, once you in a ground combat, it's just how many of your guys against how many of theirs. There's no variance in the number of dice you roll or the superiority of dice you roll, unless you have infantry too, or you're playing as a race that naturally has superior infantry, like the Federation of Soul or Sark Nor, or you're playing with the Yona, in which case your infantry sucks. Anyway, yeah, Morale Boost is pretty good for ground combat especially. It's also good in space. I'm going to put it in the decent pile. I'll have to make like decent, trash and good or something. I don't know. I'll make as many piles as I feel I need as we progress through these. It's decent. Skill Retreat. Yeah, this can be a lifesaver. And the good thing about this is that the combat ends in a draw, so you can deny people combat-related secret objectives. So this is good. I'm going to put this in the good pile. And also you can retreat to empty systems, or when you retreat with this card, you don't have to lock up a system with your units. So this is good. This is pretty good. Shields Holding, cancel 2 hits. This is good as well. It's good defensively and offensively. So where Skill Retreat's purely defensive, Shield Holding is good regardless of where you stand in a particular combat. And cancelling 2 hits is a pretty big deal. So I say this is pretty good. I'm going to put it in the Skill Retreat. Flank Speed. Apply +1 to your movement for all your ships. Yeah, this is amazing. This card is just, yeah, like I said in one of my previous videos, I think Gravity Drive is the best upgrade technology in the game. Being able to apply Gravity Drive to all of your ships is insane. So this is really good. I'm going to put this in a really good pile. I mean, sometimes you draw this and you don't really need it, but in general, I think it's really good. Sabotage, yeah, this is really good as well. I don't need to say too much about this. There's a lot of silly action or really powerful action cards in the game. Being able to put a stop to them is significant. So yeah, this is really good as well. Moving Jets, cancel 1 hit. So you can use this either as you move ships in or when you try to land ground force. It's decent. It's decent. I don't think there's anything particularly great to write home about though, so it's going to go in the okay pile. And direct hit. This is pretty good. Obviously its effectiveness is going to depend on how many people have upgraded dreadnoughts and whatnot. But yeah, this is pretty good. I'm debating whether to put it here or here though. I'm going to put it here. Yeah, I think it should go there. Okay. Now let's go on to the so all these cards there's 4 copies of in the action deck, and the rest of the action cards I'm going to run through are all one-offs. One-off fun-offs. Okay, let's start with this. Frontline deployment. Place 3 infantry from your reinforcements on 1 planet you control. Yeah, I like this card. I do like getting this card. One of the biggest problems with Twilight Imperium is running out of infantry. Not producing enough infantry to move out and take more systems. Or spreading yourself too thin. And this card helps facilitate that. There's another one as well, Rise of the Messiah, which I'll get onto when the time comes. But yeah, this is pretty good. I'm gonna leave it in this pile. And they're pretty good. It's a pretty good one. It's pretty good. Ancient burial sites. Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, it's going in the. I said this was the okay pile. I'm gonna make a trash pile here. It's okay, like. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's much to say about it. It's okay. Ghost ship. Place a destroyer in a system that contains a wormhole. This is okay. There's a couple of purposes. There's a secret objective. Well, there's a couple of secret objectives which require you to have ships in certain systems. So this can help fulfill a number of those secret objectives. One of them, you have to have 3 ships adjacent to anomaly. One, you have to have the alpha and betas with your ships on it. And one just requires you to have 6 ships in general in 6 different systems. So this helps you score potentially, those 3 secret objectives. So from that perspective, it's pretty decent. Even without that though, it's a stall, which inherently makes it good. And you can blockade a wormhole, which you can use it defensively to protect yourself. So yeah, I'm putting it here. It's pretty decent. Pretty good. Focus research, spend 4 trade goods to research technology. Yeah, that's amazing. That's just going there. We like tech. We like getting tech, and being able to get even more tech is just good. It's a stall as well. This is really good. Upgrade. When you activate a system that contains one of your cruisers, upgrade it to a dreadnought. It's alright. I mean, really, it saves you two resources. That's basically all it does. I'm gonna put it here. Well, maybe it goes here. It has some value. Yeah, you can go there. Spy. Steal an action card, a random action card from someone. It's a stall. It's pretty decent actually, because people, if you target someone who has a sabotage, they are likely going to sabotage a spy because they probably don't want to run the risk of you taking that sabotage, or something even better. This is pretty good. I'm not going to put it in the amazing good pile though, but it can go here. Mining initiative. Gain trade goods equal to the resource value of 1 planet you control. Well, that depends on what race you play, but quite a few races start with a home system with 4 resources. So most races can net 4 trade goods with this. Worst case scenario, you'll probably look at the net 3 trade goods, which is still pretty good. I'm gonna put it here. Getting 3 to 4 trade goods, from an action card is solid. Definitely solid. Parlay! So you prevent someone from landing units on the system you control. Yeah, this is pretty decent. I don't think it's crazy amazing by any stretch. I think it's gonna go here. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. It's a decent one to have. But it's not, like, I didn't see it being better than these ones, so yeah. Cripple defenses. Choose a planet and destroy each PDS on the planet. Yeah. It depends really on the board state, how good this is going to be, obviously. In general, I'm going to put it here though. I think it's decent. It's decent. Tactical bombardment. Yeah, choose a system and then you can exhaust all planets that are not under your control. This is pretty garbage. Most of the time I draw this, it's just useless to me. I've used it once. In all the games of TI that I've played, and I've had this card in my hand, I've used it like one time. And that was because someone parlayed me and prevented me from landing units on the planet, so I bombarded it on the next turn. It's going here. This is pretty garbage, to be honest. Repeal law! Discard a law from play. And again, this is situational. It depends if there are any stupid laws that might be ruining your day. It is a stall. I'm going to put it here. It's sort of decent-ish, I guess. What else do we have? Warfare Rider. Yeah, a free dreadnought if you get it right. Yeah, free dreadnought's pretty decent. I'm putting in a decent pile. They're better riders, but this one is pretty decent. Salvage. Yeah, after you win a space combat, steal that person's commodities. For a long time, I did not even realize how you're supposed to use this card, but now I do. You're supposed to take trade and then refresh someone's commodities who you plan to attack on a later turn in that round, and then steal their commodities. That's how you're supposed to play this card. I didn't even realize it at first. But now that I've figured that out, it requires setup. But if you get it right, you can get a good 3 to 4 trade goods, or if our card's on the table, you can even get 6. But it's not as good as Mining Initiative. I'm actually gonna put it here because it requires a setup on your part to make the most of for them usually. So it's gonna go here. It has potential though. Distinguished Councillor get an additional 5 votes. Depends on the agenda. Most agendas can be agendas are just so hit and miss. But having 5 votes as a ace up your sleeve is pretty nice. I'll put it here. It's decent. Experimental battle station. Yeah, 3 PDS 5 shots with deep space cannon, where you have a space dock is pretty ridiculous. And this is really good. This is really good for defending your home system, or if you manage to take Mechatol Rex and you put a space dock there. That can be really good as well. This in my opinion is a really strong action card. Bunker reduces bombardment. This lasts for the whole ground combat. So against the L1, for each round that they bombard, they get -4. That's just something to bear in mind if the L1's on the table. Otherwise though, I don't think it's that good, to be honest. It depends. I'm actually going to put it in the trash pile. I barely ever use it. I think it's pretty garbage. Political stability. This is amazing. This is so good. You get to keep your strategy cards, or card. You don't have to return it. This is game-breakingly powerful, and experienced players of Twilight Imperium are usually going to bank sabotage for when someone plays this card. This goes here. This is one of the most stupidly powerful action cards around. Construction Rider. If you predict correctly, gain a space dock. I think they should have made this game that you should have gained a space dock and a PDS on the planet. But anyway, putting that aside, it's alright. Getting an extra space dock on board can be decent. But like I said before, they're better riders. In fact, I'm almost tempted to dump it down here. Unless you're the clan of Tsar, in which case, this is pretty amazing. But yeah, I'm gonna put it there. It's yeah. Signal jamming. Yeah, this is good. This is a good one. Yeah, I'm putting it here. This is pretty good. Being able to block someone from attacking you or whatever is strong. Bribery. You can get some extra votes with trade goods. It's similar to the Distinguished Counselor, but it's right at the very end. It's after the speakers voted, so you know exactly where the numbers stand. The downside is you have to spend the good old TGs in order to get the most out of this. It depends, like I said, the agendas are really hit and miss. Some of them can be completely brutal. But in all honesty, I am probably going to dump it down here with Distinguished Counselor, because you have to spend trade goods, man. Although if it's quite close and you only have to spend one or two, it's not so bad. But I think I'll leave it down here. It's okay. It's okay. I'm actually tempted to put it in the trash pile. Seriously. Yeah, it's gonna be in the trash pile. Distinguished Counselor. Yeah, I'm moving that to the trash pile as well. Like, it's just, I don't know. They have consistency issues, that's the thing. Very inconsistent action cards. Fighter prototype. Oh yeah, this is nice. That obviously depends what kind of race you are. But yeah, +2 to your combat rolls is no joke. No joke. So only for the first round, but even so. It's like a super morale boost for your fighters. I'm going to put it here, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Fire team! Reroll your ground. This is decent as well. Yeah, it depends on how many ground force you have and stuff, but being able to bolster your chance of winning on the ground is pretty good. It's a nice card to have up your sleeve, but it's okay. It's okay. Summit. Gain 2 command tokens. Yeah, it's amazing. It's just so easy to play. So easy to play, and more command tokens is never a bad thing. It's just an amazing card. Plague. It's a stall. You can wipe out a bunch of ground force. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Uprising. Exhaust 1 non-home planet controlled by another player, then gain trade goods. Okay, so basically, best case scenario, you're gaining 3 trade goods with this. But you also knock off a planet from an opponent, which prevents them from using that planet for a turn. So this is really good. This is actually really good. You're getting 2 to 3 trade goods and taking someone's planet away from them for a round. This is really good. Reparations. So once someone takes one of your planets, you exhaust one of theirs and you ready one planet you control. It requires a little bit of setup, but the potential turnaround, the potential of this card is really good. Like, think about if things go really well for you, you can ready your home system, which could be 4 resources, and you can knock off or exhaust someone's home system, which could be 4 resources as well. It's a swing of 8 resources. This is pretty strong. This is pretty strong, I think. Unexpected action. Yeah, this is really good. This is really good. Being able to get an extra movement, or it's like warfare. It's basically like a warfare. A bit of an inferior warfare. Yeah, this is really good. This goes in a really good pile. Reactor meltdown. Destroy 1 space dock in a non-home system. Yeah, this is really good as well, actually. Taking someone's forward space dock can be brutal, especially if it's a clan of Tsar. Politics Rider. Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is one of the most powerful rider action cards in the game. This is just crazy good. Taking the speaker and three action cards, if you guess correctly, is just ridiculous. Tech Rider, again, free technology. Technology is good. It's ridiculous. This is just good. It's solid. Imperial Rider, yeah, no, I'm not going to discuss that. Victory Point, yes please. What else do we have? Insubordination. Remove a token and return it to its reinforcements. Yeah, this is good. I like this. This is, in fact, I think this is really good. You can time this when someone only has one command counter left in their tactic pool, and then you can proper screw someone over with this if you time it right. Proper screw someone over. Try and move this back a bit for you. What else do we have? Diplomacy Rider. It's not bad. Like, it depends. It depends on the game state, but I'm gonna put this in the okay pile. Like, it definitely has potential. And the thing with this is that you can actually use this on Mechatol Rex, which is quite funny. Yeah. You could, if you own Mechatol Rex and you predict correctly with this, you can actually protect Mechatol Rex for rounds, which is crazy good. This has a lot of potential, but more often than not, I kind of see it just not doing much. So it has a lot of potential, but I'll put it in the okay pile. Lost Star Chart, Alpha and Beta's, yeah, Jason, has potential. Most of the time I don't see it doing much though, but you know, you can make a surprise attack on someone. But yeah, I think it's okay. I'm putting the okay pile. Rise of a Messiah. Yeah, this is pretty insane. Like I said, with the frontline deployment, one of the biggest issues that people run into with TI is not managing their ground force properly, and this just resolves that problem. Such a good action card. Goes in the awesome pile. Assassinate Representative, yeah, that player can't vote on an agenda. It's okay. Any of these like agenda, I'm putting it in the garbage pile. It's alright, but it's whatever. Unstable Planet. Choose one hazardous planet, exhaust that planet, and destroy 3 infantry on it. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, hazardous planets tend to be the ones with the most resources anyway. So you're screwing someone over, and you can take out some of the. Yeah, this is pretty good. I'll put it here. It's gonna go here. It's a pretty decent one. War effort. Free cruiser. Yeah. This is pretty decent. You get some frontline reinforcement as well for the space. It's a good one. Economic initiative. Ready each cultural planet you control. It's going to depend on how many cultural planets you have, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good one. It's over here. In the silence of space. So this gives you light wave deflectors for 1 action. This is really good. It's going in a really good pile. Like I said, light wave deflectors I think is the best technology in the game. If you disregard any, it's 3 propulsion tech requirement. So having that in action cards is great. Lucky Shot. Yeah, this it's alright. It's okay. And I'm putting in the okay pile. Usually, I don't usually use this. Yeah, it's alright. What else do we have? Intercept. So when someone declares a retreat during a space combat. So you can't use this against a skilled retreat. That's when someone manually declares that they intend to retreat. Then you can play this and you prevent them from retreating for a round. This can be good. Like you want to make sure you finish someone off. Then yeah, this has potential, but I'm gonna put it in the okay pile because I don't know. I've had it used against me once, which was pretty annoying actually. But I don't know. I haven't really seen any significant use of it. So confusing legal text. So when you're elected as the outcome of an agenda, you choose someone else. There's only one agenda in the agenda deck where you don't want to be chosen as the person being singled out, and that is assassinate, public execution. Sorry, that's the only one. I've been through all 50 agendas. That's the only one where all the other ones where a player is designated, it's like a positive effect. You get a positive effect for being the winner. Public execution is the only one. So this is good for like one agenda. The only other use that this has is you can pair it with rider cards, and that can be so this can be quite effective for that as well. So even if it's like a positive effect, you could play a rider on, let's just say, the person who is in last place, and then let's just say you're in first place as well. So, I mean, you're not in first place. Yeah, that would be the public execution then, because it only works if you're elected. Okay, there is some potential to combine this with rider cards, but I think it's quite hard to do. So, given that this only really works on one agenda most effectively, I'm gonna put it in the trash pile. Infiltrate. So it's an L1 ability. You get to steal the PDS and space dock. Yeah, this is pretty solid actually. Obviously, it depends. Like if you go into attack someone's home system, this is brutal, absolutely brutal. I'm putting it pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not crazy. It's not crazy, amazing good like these, but it's pretty good. Disable. Yeah, you prevent them their PDS and they lose planetary shield. Yeah, this is during an invasion. This is all I'm going to put here. So it's also pretty good. Trying to attack their home system with a bunch of PDS, and then yeah, your units are free to invade. Courageous to the end. Okay, this is my favorite action card. It's just amazing, especially when you play the Embers and use it on like your War Sun. But I hate having this played against me as well because it's terrifying. But anyway, yeah, when one of your ships is destroyed, you roll 2 dice equal that, and for each one that's greater than or equal to the combat value of that ship, you get to choose and destroy one of your opponent's ships. Yeah, this is crazy, ridiculously good. Even with like dreadnoughts, getting 2 dice on dreadnoughts and being able to, you get to pick the ships that get destroyed. That's what makes this insanely good. What's going here? Emergency repairs. Yeah, beginning or end of a combat round, you repair all your units. This is nasty. Like, you can roam around with your dread fleet or whatever, leave it battered. Someone thinks that they can get a quick win on you. You can play this at the beginning of the space combat round, and then suddenly they've just walked into a massive trap. The other use of this is if you've got a pretty big battle, and at the end of a space combat round, you just repair all your ships and you're ready to go again. It depends on it's race dependent though. Like this is only really good if you're spamming dreadnoughts. So for that reason, I'm putting it here. Now the ability is ridiculous, but it's specific on you using dreadnoughts. That's why it's going here. Trade Rider, yeah, it's pretty good. 5 TGs, mate. 5 TGs if you guess correctly. I mean that's just going here. That's pretty good. It's not quite as good as the politics, tech, or is it? What is it? Is it actually? Is it actually? I mean, on second thought, I think Trade Rider and Tech Rider should both be in the pretty good pile, like in hindsight. So yeah, that's where that's going. Public Disgrace. Okay, this is another insanely powerful tech action card. Sorry. Again, this is one of those action cards where people want to bank a sabotage for, because this is just brutal. Veto is going in the... Well, I'm gonna put it in. It's okay. It's okay. It's going in the okay pile. You know, being able to get rid of an agenda. Yeah. It's all right. Industrial Initiative. Gain 1 TG for each industrial planet you control. Now this is not as good as some of the other ones where you gain trade goods, but it's an action. It's a stall. It is dependent on how many industrial planets you control, which is why it's not as good. But it's decent. It's definitely decent. So it's going in a pretty good pile. And finally, we have Leadership Rider. I think I've ranked this with the Trade Rider and the Tech Rider, so it's going here as well. And that's it. That's all the action cards we've run through. So now, if we look at the value of action cards in general, based on this list, you can see that roughly maybe 2/3 of the action deck are, you know, pretty good to ridiculous action cards, and the remaining third is, you know, okay to kind of trash. So that gives you a better idea of, you know, the probabilities of, you know, drawing, you know, good to ridiculous action cards, and better facilitates the value of Neural Motivator, for example. So roughly speaking, you have for each action card you draw, there's a 2 in 3 chance that it's going to be pretty good to amazing, and a 1 in 3 chance that it's going to be, you know, mediocre to, you know, outright trash. And that's it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Mission complete. Signing out.